Hello, let's look at this test of my new custom step to aggregate Parquet files, pushing the query down into DuckDB. Let's open this custom step, brand new. I just created it, and from my build environment, I just shifted it over to this via environment for testing. First, I need to select the Parquet file. I have two options. I got a file with 18 million observations, 1.5 GB in size. Let's start with that. And I got a bigger file, and that's coming up. Select the file. I select my required aggregations. Might as well go with all of them, right? I provide columns that I wish to aggregate. Let me add one more to the mix. I add a group by column, and finally I add a column. I add the output dataset. Now I'm a bit lazy. I didn't set up a live name to a DuckDB engine in advance, so I'm just going to write it to the work area. This is the output, and it really shouldn't affect the time taken for the query. Let's call it DuckDB underscore output. And let's remind ourselves the reason why we are using this custom step. It dynamically builds a DuckDB SQL aggregation query meant for use against Parquet file formats. The reason why we are building this instead of just leaving it open to data engineers to code is that Parquet has become quite popular. DuckDB has also become quite popular. It makes sense that folks would like to take advantage of DuckDB on Parquet, but they get the best bang for the buck if they pass through the query. That is, if the query actually executes against the Parquet file in DuckDB. So in order to avoid having to do things like setting up a live name in advance, carrying out implicit pass-through, etc., we basically use this custom step as a convenient tool. Let's go ahead and run this custom step. At this time, this thing better run properly. I hope so. Looks like it does. Okay, so here we have 20 million observations, 18 million actually, summarized quite quickly. And you got averages, you got sums, you got counts, you have is supposed to have standard deviations and the standard deviation of the population as well. Great. How long did it take? Let's take a look. It took 1.62 seconds. That's nice. Okay, now let me change this to another bigger data set. And this data set happens to be 60 million observations, 4 GB in size. When it comes to Parquet, size is really not that big a problem. We get the results the same. All this is very nice, and around 2.6 seconds. So that's a walkthrough of this custom step.